Hi, I'm Steve Thompson, president of Emery Thompson Machine.
I'm Christy Brown, vice president of sales and marketing, and this is Stella.
And Sammy's around here somewhere.
Yes.
Well, we made it through Thanksgiving.
We did.
And now we're heading for Christmas.
What do they say? You wobble till you gobble? Is
Yeah,
that
something like that.
Yeah, I think we all did.
Yeah. But we made it, now we're heading for Christmas.
Yes.
And of course that means lots of ice creams, sorbets, liquor ice creams, all sorts of great ideas. So what do you have for us today?
My first question is, how much clearance from the wall does my 24-quart need? Well, if you have a water-cooled or interested in the water-cooled machine, you don't need any clearance from the wall. You can shove it in a basement, you can shove it against a wall, in a corner, down a dark hole. Why you would do that, but it doesn't matter because the water is what's keeping the machine cool. If you are interested or needing to get the air cooled, then a good foot and a half is always a good wall clearance from the machine, so that way it has proper airflow coming in.
Very good. I really get some odd ones. Well, here we go. Are there grapes in Grape Nuts cereal? I knew the answer to that, but I thought I would go to the expert, Wikipedia, and see what they have to say. So Wikipedia says about the question, are there grapes in Grape Nuts cereal? Despite its name, Grape Nuts do not contain grapes nor nuts. Legend states that CW Post, those of you who don't know, Post cereal was started by C.W. Post. He has a university out on Long Island also named after the same person. C.W. Post believed that glucose, which he referred to as grape sugar, I've never heard that one before, formed during the baking process. The other tale says that it got its name from its resemblance to grape seeds or grape nuts. I don't want to open the bag, but here is Grape Nuts cereal. They're very crunchy. It's a wheat product, and it really makes a great ice cream. It's a lot of fun to make this. In fact, speaking of Christmas presents, Christie's book, Making Sweet Success, is available. And on page 35, we have Grape Nuts and Golden Raisin Ice Cream. This is a real popular one up in the Boston area, probably the most popular ice cream. And we have it broken down into, this consists of the dairy blend, grape nuts, which I just showed you, golden raisins, not the dark ones, but the golden, and vanilla extract. And Christy, you have it broken into the CB200 3-quart machine, the 350 6-quart, 12-quart, 24-quart, and 44-quart. So whatever size you want to make, it's there in the book. But it sounds like an odd ice cream, but I'm telling you, it's absolutely delicious. And you can just spread the myth that, yes, it's made from real grapes that were picked over in Italy and flown over here and freeze-dried to become this special cereal.
Cereal breakfast. That's what my daughter calls it, the breakfast ice cream. She loves Grape Nuts and Golden Raisin ice cream.
It's a good one.
It is extremely good. My next one is do I need a water softener for my water-cooled machines? No, you do not. However, it doesn't hurt it. It will help with the longevity of the machine over decades, not a few years, but decades. If you live in where I used to, in Podunk, Oklahoma, we had some pretty harsh water. Once again, it wasn't necessary, but it'll help filter some of that gunk coming out if you do live in an area that has very, very harsh water. So not necessary, but you can if you want.
And it's great for your skin and your hair.
Yes. It's when you feel like you don't have all your conditioner out of your hair.
Yeah, that's what soft water feels like. Yeah, we've got that at home. Chris was in here yesterday, and he really had some good questions and a very interesting insight on a not-so-old product. I've been talking about dairy-free ice cream, what used to be called vegan ice cream. We call it dairy-free frozen desserts. I've been talking about that for about 3 years now and saying that this is a trend and not just a fad. A fad is something that's here today and gone in 6 months. A trend is something that follows along for many years after. And I believe that dairy-free, made on either a coconut base or an oat base, is going to be a long-term product in your store. But Chris had a different approach to it. He says, first, is there a specific mix you like for the dairy-free? I said, yes, I like Mommy's, which is spelled M-A-M-I-S. Mommy's Gelato, and that's a dairy-free. It comes as oat, so they call it outrageous, or coconut, which is the froco nut, Mamis, M-A-M-I-S. But he brings out an interesting point. He says 1 out of 10 children have lactose issues. Average family size is roughly 2 children. So by not offering dairy-free options, you have essentially turned away 1 in 5 of the average size families who will go somewhere else to get their dairy-free options, regardless of how good your ice cream is. And why would they do this? Why would they turn away? Because if you've got 2 children and 2 adults, or 7 children and 2 adults, you're not going to take everybody out for ice cream and tell little Johnny that, no, you can't have anything here in the store. You know, they would rather go somewhere else and go buy a Slurpee for everybody than to deny one child to have it. And that's a really interesting and I think valid concept when considering putting a few flavors of dairy-free into your ice cream parlor. I highly recommend it. And we have a lot of formulas about that at emerythompson.com.
And in the book.
And in the book.
What is the lead time on a CB350? Well, fantastic news, 0. We have them ready to ship as of now. So if you haven't gotten the email already from Steve, it is the tax tip. And if you purchase that machine before the end of the year and get delivery, then you can use it as a tax write-off for new machinery for your store or upcoming store, whichever. The big part is December 12th is the cutoff date. So if you're looking for a new CB350 for this year's price, get your order placed in before December 12th. It'll have to ship next year if it's at that date. If it's a couple days before, and we hurry up and get that order placed, and we can get it shipped out to you and delivered this year.
And Christy, that write-off is good up to $1,080,000. $1,080,000.
I can go get my yacht.
Yeah, well, more likely you could buy 157 Emery Thompsons.
I could.
And write them all off. How great would that be?
I like that, but I kind of would like a yacht.
Yeah. Another lady wrote in about my Champagne Sorbet formulas. And she said, usually when you're doing a Champagne Sorbet formula, Steve, you're combining it with raspberries or strawberries or blueberries, something along that line. Can I just make a plain Champagne Sorbet? And yes, the answer is you definitely can. I just haven't done it because I always like the addition of the fruit to give it some additional taste. But basically on a CB350, it would be 2 750 milliliter bottles of sparkling wine. That's the normal size bottle of wine. 2 of those bottles into the machine, refill those 2 bottles again with tap water, put that in, 2 pounds of sugar, and you're good to go. That's all you need in there. I haven't tried it yet, but I think it would be kind of fun to add a little bit of cinnamon. The cinnamon that comes mixed with sugar, or you can mix it yourself with sugar, just to add a little bit of extra taste besides the champagne. And no, you're not going to use real champagne. Yes, sometimes food people do lie. We may call it champagne sorbet, but it's actually a sparkling white wine because the champagne would be too expensive. Technically, that has to come from a region in France. Don't worry about that. Just buy some sparkling white wine and put it in there, and it'll make a great sorbet for Christmas time.
And you can even buy extracts and flavorings too that just resemble the flavor. I had recently got a bourbon one from Weber Flavors, and I was really convinced, and I, sniff checked it, and it was potent and strong and smelled like real bourbon. And of course, I emailed Mark and I said, "Is there really bourbon in here?" And he said, "Nope, it's not." And it was spot on. I can't wait to try it for the next January seminar. So you don't have to use real champagne if you want to boost the flavor of something. I mean, that recipe you'll have to, but.
Well, the rumor I heard about you and the bourbon was that you had a bottle of Jim Beam right next to it, and you were tasting the ice cream and tasting the bourbon to see which one was the real deal.
I know.
One bottle
which
later,
one?
It was, why are we here?
I feel like Lucy from Vitamita Vegemin.
Oh, yeah, that's
This is tasty, too.
Well, you heard him. We have 30 seconds left.
Yeah, we should probably quit goofing off.
I guess we're finished. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you next week, and let's start getting ready for Christmas.
Bye, guys.